Hello, everybody. I just wanted to hop on and give people a bit of an update as to what they can expect from me and from the channel over the next couple of weeks. If you haven't been following along, we just had an event over the last 2.5 weeks called The Games. It's something that I've wanted to do for at least the last 5 years. And I thought, with all of the stuff going on with the pandemic still in high gear, it's a perfect time to come up with something weird to give you guys a new thing to get invested in and get interested in, and I had a lot of fun. Sounds like our players had a lot of fun as well. I hope everybody enjoyed that. There's one more upload related to that that's coming probably later in the week, but for all intents and purposes, the games are concluded, and I think it was a pretty cool experiment, all things considered. I think it could have gone better in a few ways and worse in a lot more ways. We were very, very fortunate in a lot of different ways here, especially and certainly not the least of which our commentators, many of whom I was only able to get footage to commentate over literally days or sometimes even a day ahead of when we wanted to get the video up. So incredibly huge shout out once again to everybody who commentated for the games. Retro Trigger, Tori, Lady Selah, C-Dude, Hypermode, Ape Arcade, Retro Roulette, Teddy, aka Evil Hippie, Max and Lynn from Game Face, Born Losers Gaming, it's Ian, Caitlin Bairstow, and Ian Hanlon. That was a really great surprise and a cool thing to be able to work with them on. They had a blast with it, by the way, and I'm so glad that everybody enjoyed the events that they picked. I did not make them do Quap or Pong. Those were their choices, and I think they nailed it, and they made a pair of events that could have otherwise been a big drag a lot more interesting. So huge shout out to them and all of our commentators. That was really, I think, one of the most important things for this event. I know a lot of folks early on were saying that they wished that we had recorded our own commentary during the events, and for some we did early on, but we started to realize it was becoming a bit of a logistical hurdle, no pun intended, and this was already going to be a complicated enough video series as is, and we wanted to make it as easy as possible just to get through it. And I think the choice to not bother with the live recorded commentary and stick with the post commentary and kind of a TV broadcast style was the way to go. I think it was pretty cool. I meant to mention at the start of this video and didn't. I was going to wear a hat because I had the worst bedhead earlier, but it seems to have morphed its way into this thing that's going on that's a little bit stylish and presentable enough that I decided screw it. It's also very warm up here today, so I figure let's go without the hat. So I had mentioned at the top of this video that there were some updates for the channel in general. Normally this is the kind of thing that I would talk about during a Patreon hangout, one of our monthly hangouts. You can check that out at patreon.com/gspeedfm. The last Friday of the month, we do a hangout with our $9 patrons and higher to give them kind of some insight on where things are going, and they can ask live questions and we'll answer them. It's a pretty good time. If you want to jump in on that, then you can see those details. Like I said, patreon.com/dpadfm. However, this is something that's coming kind of in the middle of the month, earlier in the month, and it's something that I was thinking about during the last Patreon hangout time. And I thought about it over the last couple of weeks, and I decided to go with it, and it's going to affect things before the next hangout. And that is that for the next 2 weeks, kind of including the week we're in right now, I'm going to be going on sort of a brief, hiatus-y vacation thing. It's not 100% of a vacation. Like, I'm not just turning off the computer and walking away entirely, but I'm working on something that's really special, something I've actually wanted to do for longer than the games, and I would really like to put a lot of focus into that. And also, I just need a bit of a breather. Most of the last 3 weeks have involved recording, editing, coordinating, or doing post-processing on all of these videos, around 11 hours and change of video overall, and most of those days were exclusively just me working on that, heads down, throwing emails out when I had to, and otherwise just at the grind, and I'm exhausted, even more so than I usually am during a normal week of video production, so I just need a little bit of time to catch my breath before we get back into things, because we got a lot going on. We want 2021 to go out with a bang. We got a couple things in the pipeline that I think people will be excited about. Things that you will still see over the next 2 weeks. Like I said, the channel's not going to go dead over the next 2 weeks. But what you are going to see are Twitch streams. Those are going to continue as normal, including and starting with, I guess, tonight's final stream for Metroid Fusion. We'll have all 4 of the original versions of the core Metroid games done before I move on to Metroid Zero Mission next week and do that and Samus Returns in time for Metroid Dread. But there's a number of streams that are going on all week long, this week and next week. So those will continue as normal, and the uploads for YouTube will continue as normal as well. The remainder of Zelda's Adventure is going to stay on the schedule it has, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're coming down to the end of that as well. The R-rated reviews for What If are going to be starting tomorrow, and those will be continuing as normal. So this Wednesday, next Wednesday. There will probably be Resident Evil Village next week. We didn't get any recorded for this week, but we'll probably have some for next week, and that will continue provided we have some. And likewise for Sonic 06, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to record any more of that this weekend, but as soon as we're able to, we're going to be recording the remainder of Sonic 06. So that's what we're looking to be seeing over the next 2 weeks. It's a much smaller schedule than we've done in years, really. And this is the first time that I've gone on any sort of channel vacation, channel break that hasn't coincided with me literally going on vacation. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be around. But there's a lot to do. And I've got a lot of things to move around here in the apartment and just coordinate in life in general. And I would like to catch up on my sleep a little bit if I could. So I just wanted to give everybody sort of a heads up. I know this isn't like a huge update. It's also hopefully not like a huge, like earth-shaking, thing that we're going to be going kind of light for the next 2 weeks. Zelda series is functionally done. Breath of the Wild 2, we don't really know when that's coming out, but when it does, we'll be covering that. Kirby, we're looking to finish out, this year if we can. Mega Man is in an interesting spot because it looks from my list of games like we're a million years away from the end, but most of what we have left is not all that serious in terms of length. So like that's something that I don't think it's not gonna be done this year, but it's something that we're pushing to get closer to done. So we've got a lot to do this year, and I want to get my energy back because there's been a lot of very sluggish feeling days out of me, and I would like to get some of that mojo back. I actually watched a movie just because for the first time, and just like at home. I went to see Black Widow, but yesterday I actually watched a movie at home without doing something else at the same time. It was great. I haven't done that in a very long time. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Thank you very much for your support throughout all of that. That was a lot of fun to put together. And it was great to collaborate with all these channels that, I've wanted to do something with all of them for a while. So being able to do some of that is pretty cool. I did mention in the video that I owe every single one of these people a huge, huge favor, or many favors, honestly, for diving on that particular grenade for me. And I hope people weren't too upset about the exposure joke. It was intentionally a joke in kind of bad taste. Obviously, that's a terrible practice that nobody should be engaging in the first place. I wasn't paid. Nobody was paid. There was no money going around in general. This was all in the spirit of collaboration and friendship and all of these things. And some of these people that jumped in for this, who were very gracious in doing so, are also much bigger than we are. So there are some folks in there that did not need any additional exposure out of us, whatever we could have given for that. It was a joke. I hope everybody is okay with that. And if anybody feels, less good about that, I'm really sorry. It was an off-the-cuff kind of thing there for a gag. But I do really appreciate everybody that helped out in there. All 12 of our other participants, how many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 commentators that we had over the course of the events. That's fitting. Yeah, almost everybody did at least... I think everybody did around 2 things in general. So there were a couple that did 3, a couple that did 1, but on average, I think everybody did 2. And that was a lot of hustle without much notice. So again, I really, really appreciate that. I'm rambling. This video's gone on long enough. I just want to get the, vacation-y bit to you so that you know why the videos are going up slowly. Folks who are on our Patreon who are wondering about the we have a video upload schedule calendar that you can get access to if you are a $1 patron, and just anybody that's a patron on there. That hasn't been updated in a couple weeks just because we were kind of figuring out what was going to happen after the games. So that should be getting updated in the next day-ish. If not today, then definitely tomorrow. So just wanted to get the word out there so that everybody's on the same page as far as what's going on. Thank you again for everything. I hope that you have a good day, a good week, a good rest of your summer. And looking forward to coming back by the end of the month with some big stuff. So see you then. Bye.